0 is soft, 100 is most firm.
This one likes it nice and hard.
Okay.
When you started taking Truvada,
Did you have like crazy side effects?
Just the usual. Why?
I'm just thinking about starting prep.
Right.
It turns out my Uncle Bunny is contesting the will.
I don't understand why you would offer me money that wasn't actually yours to offer.
I am so over Patrick getting a free pass because he's gay.
Pardon me?
Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flick. Looking Season 2, Episode 9, only one more to go. Looking for Sanctuary. Alonso, Bibbs.
Hi.
Wow, so okay.
This is a really good episode.
So much stuff happening.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start?
Let's start with, well, I think Patrick is obviously taking center stage in this one.
Yes, definitely.
So why don't we start with him and then work our way
Sure.
outward.
So Patrick and Kevin meeting the family, which always challenging, but I think meeting Patrick's family is...
You know, it's interesting. We keep getting built up on Patrick's family, and then we went to the wedding last season, and his family seemed kind of cool. Not great, but kind of, but like certainly it seemed like Patrick's experience with them wasn't as bad as the audience's.
I guess it's that wasp house of secrets. I never trust that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, there's got to be some kind of Peyton Place thing going on here or something. Turns out his mom is super cool, like really weirdly cool, like really relaxed and non-judgmental.
I don't know that she's always been that way.
I meant now in this, in this episode.
Well, sure, yeah.
In this episode, she's suspiciously cool.
Right, because she's got her own stuff to unpack.
And I don't know if I noticed it before, but totally gamilfy. Like really, she looks great. Like really cute. But
Julia Duffy, again, that's one of the things that I love about this generation of sitcom is who the callbacks are to.
Yeah.
You know, who the people who made this show grew up watching and are like, oh, you know what, let's cast her. You know, like, I mean, Girls is great about that. Like, every time a parent shows up on Girls, it's some cool TV of your person.
Yeah.
So Julia Duffy from Newhart and briefly Designing Women.
That's how I felt when Beastmaster showed up on Arrow.
Oh, Mark Singer
Singer showed up on Arrow.
Funny.
Like, no one in the target demographic remembers this, but the guys who made the show remember him, and he's fucking awesome. Anyway, so she's really amazing in this episode.
Right.
She's really funny. She really runs the full gamut. Her last speech to Patrick about whether or not the last 40 years of her life was a mistake and she doesn't know what she's going to do now is just the stuff Emmys are made of. It's just a really, really great and amazing bit. But then we also meet Patrick's sister, who was built up just right. She is a mega bitch.
Yes.
Almost implausibly so, I felt.
I bought it. I kind of feel like, and I mean, you know, not so much from my own experience, at least with my own family, because we're great, but I know from other people where there's that sibling who does all the sort of right and proper things, and then is always angry that they're not getting a prize for that. You know, like, I did the thing where I married the person I was supposed to, and I'm raising the kids, and I'm having this life.
The Jennifer Grey and Ferris Bueller syndrome.
Sort of, yes.
Yeah,
So
sure.
like, how dare you how dare you not kowtow to me constantly, and why do you get to have all the fun and get away with all the
I could be bleeding out my eyes and you'd make me go to school. This is so unfair.
Bingo.
But, yeah, but like, I don't know, like it was interesting to see Patrick has so many just great wide-eyed reactions in this episode where just people say something crazy and he just goes, like he's just fuming and you can tell he's gonna be destroyed. But we see that it's interesting to see how that experience impacts his experience with Kevin, because Kevin says, you know, I didn't ask you to move in with me because I might be too soon, I might freak you out, but I'm definitely down for it eventually when you want to. And Patrick, in order to basically prove, no, my relationship with Kevin is worthy to his sister, says, yeah, and he asked me to move into him. I'm seriously thinking about it. And then he does, just because I don't want to go back to that family for Christmas. and I believe it, but I'm just like, Patrick, no, you were actually doing well. I'm worried they're going to screw this up now.
Yeah, moving in together too quickly is, that's a straight couple, gay couple, no matter, that's a big red flag, I think.
Yeah.
That's a hell of an apartment, though.
Oh, it's a great apartment.
Although, of course, these are the people who are ruining San Francisco.
Are they really?
The young tech millionaires. Oh, yeah. Ask anyone in San Francisco and they'll tell you. They're like, why, what?
I don't know. I'm curious.
No, seriously.
I'm leaning in sort of a gossipy, tell me more.
No, it's true. No, seriously, all the Google, you know, the tech 2.0 people are driving up the rents, and you know, they're the whole keep Austin weird thing, all the weird of San Francisco is getting driven out because they can't afford it anymore.
All right, well, fair enough. Then I want to talk about Dom and Doris real fast, just because I don't think it was that interesting. It was coming to a head. This was bound to happen eventually.
Yeah, the second the friends get into a fiduciary relationship, that's always going to be Yeah. But I think it was the sort of thing where it wasn't so much that the whole blow up happened because of this one disagreement.
Right.
I think this disagreement sort of calls into relief like their entire relationship.
Well, what I liked about it was that we've been seeing a lot of this divide in the relationship from Dom's perspective. Calling her up, I'm not sure where we're at right now, etc. We're very sympathetic. And then Doris just says, I prioritize you over my boyfriend so much. Yeah. And every time I prioritize my boyfriend, you make me feel guilty about it. And that's really valid.
Sure.
Like, it's perfectly valid, and it's just this very natural rift, and it's explored in a very nice, naturalistic way, where it is as dramatic as it would be in real life, as we've all been there, as friendships sort of slowly dissolve as people get into other things.
I don't like the word hag, but I will say the fruit and fly relationship can get very complicated.
Okay.
And can be very one-sided. I've never really had one.
Neither have I.
It's because you're a straight man,
Damn
and it's a whole other thing.
I miss out. You get everything because you're gay.
Yes, I know. It's so unfair. But yeah, no. I totally have seen that dynamic play out in that way, where it's like, you know what? I'm doing all the heavy lifting, and I'm the one who gets left at the bar and has to find a ride home because you tricked with somebody, and it's my turn now,
Yeah.
And I think Doris is finally in this sort of healthy relationship with someone who adores her, and doesn't need this sort of semi-validation from a guy with whom she's only going to have a relationship that only goes so far.
Her relationship with Dom is progressed as far as it's ever going to progress.
And
basically, emotionally and in pretty much any other way, which is valid. I don't know why they can't still be friends, but it just seems like they've been friends long enough.
I think they can be. I don't know that this is like,
this is the end.
They've not driven a stake through the heart of it, but I think that it is a moment of like, you know what? I got this and this and this, and you need to back off, and we need to maybe refigure out what we are and how we are.
Perfectly reasonable.
And I think that's totally valid. And then there's Eddie and Agustín.
Okay, so there's 3 great bits in the Eddie and Agustín plot. Do you want to go in chronological order?
Have at it.
Okay, so the first one is we open on Eddie and someone I don't remember if we've ever met before talking about, oh no, the guy who painted the mural totally screwed us over on that mural. Hey Augie, did you hear about this mural that can't get painted? And Augie's just like, oh yeah, that's really rough. So anyway.
We need an artist.
It's like, but what's great is Augie's complete obliviousness. It would be like if you're talking about, oh man, we've got all these turtles and no one to jump on them. And like Super Mario comes in and he's like, oh hey guys, what's up? Oh wow, that's a real problem. Just walks away. Like, Mario, that's what you do. So that was just really
but Mario's
funny.
in a place right now where he is not feeling confident in his turtle leaping. I can't believe you got me into this stupid metaphor.
I'm good at
this.
the
Is
stupid
worse
metaphors.
than Jeannie Bueller. No, I think
nothing is worse than Jeannie Bueller.
Augie is, like it's been clearly established. He feels, he feels dried up and blocked as an artist. He hated his old work. He couldn't come up with any new shit. So I'm sure he's like, la 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 la, not listening to you, not going to get involved in this art project.
But it was just funny the way how casually he was doing it. He wasn't even making a thing of it.
Oh, well, yeah.
And like Eddie was totally nudging, and then he finally says, "Fuck it, you're doing it." And it was great.
This is why we love it.
And it was nice to see Augie, just be like, hey, what about this? This would be kind of neat, right? It's like he seemed like he was actually excited about it again. And then the second great bit is when his ex-boyfriend shows up. And it's fantastic. And Eddie fucking sacks up, mans up, comes to the plate, and just totally backs Augie up so he can feel really good about himself because his ex-boyfriend was being kind of a douche. Kind of a douche.
Not that Augie didn't have it coming.
No. That guy's entitled to at least a couple more digs throughout the rest of their life. But he was really being like another great eye reaction. He's like, yeah, I'm working with like transgender kids, and like a thing is like,
yeah, that's what my friend Dennis calls the B for B. Arthur.
Nice. But then there's the moment. This is my friend. Which is exactly the same moment we had last week between Patrick and Kevin, where he wasn't trying to introduce himself to Richie, except Eddie will have none of it.
But you know what? But Agustín, for once,
Yes.
was right.
Yes, he
He
is.
was totally right. It was like Eddie had been all, we're not having a relationship,
Yep.
we're going to be fuck buddies, but I'm not,
Yeah.
you know, da-da-da-da. And then in the moment, it's like, no, you don't now get to complain that I don't call you my boyfriend when this all began with you saying, by the way, we're not boyfriends.
Yes, and then it leads to the most romantic scene I've seen in any series in a really long time. It is so freaking adorable when Eddie finally buckles down and actually just flat out says, well, what did he say? He said like Agustín Federico Christopher. Yeah. He's like, you know, those aren't my real names, right? And it is so freaking adorable and romantic. You can't like not cuddle up next to the person you're sitting with, even if you're not dating them, and just go, no, like it's so cute,
No.
and it works.
It was super
It actually
sweet.
works.
It was sweet and it was earned.
Yeah.
And you know, if the notes from season 1 were holy shit, everybody hates Agustín, fix this guy, then mission accomplished.
I think that's the journey we were on in this season, and I think they did a good job of building to it kind of gradually, where it didn't seem like they were in a rush, but it also didn't seem like he wasn't progressing.
Right.
He backtracked once and it sucked, but then he moved right back forward, and it never felt easy, but he really seemed committed to it, and I buy it. You know, it can be very difficult to convey dramatically that a character changes, especially when they're clearly defined very well originally. And this show did it really, really well. I totally bought it, and I'm just happy with where it's going.
Yeah,
it's nice.
And what I hope that we get out of Eddie as this show continues is his jerk side. Because he's been kind of lovely.
He's been kind of lovely. Anytime he's a douche, he's a lovable douche.
He was introduced to us as Saint Eddie, for God's sake. So, you know, I think at some point as this goes along, we will, you know, I hope season 3 he gets to unpack his own craziness.
You know, one of the things we see on the show when we try to get to these characters dramatically in that vein is we see the other parts of their life when they're not with the protagonist.
Yeah.
We see more of Richie's family, for example. We see more of Patrick's family. We don't know anything about anyone else Eddie knows.
That's true.
You know, we have some maybe sense of like how he, you know, but like there's no family.
Work,
there's no family. There's nothing, and that could be an interesting way to see where he came from, how he got to be awesome. Did he become awesome because he was surrounded by awesome, or was he?
Is he self-made awesome?
Is he self-made awesome? Honestly, and I don't care because he's just awesome. He's the coolest cat on TV right now. Thank you, guy who plays Eddie.
Daniel Francesi.
Thank you, Daniel Francesi, for your wonderful performance.
Was this the episode with the penis? Or
That was last
previous?
episode.
That was last episode.
I think it was the last episode. The enormous penis. Well done.
Hooray
Well
for that.
done.
All right, one more episode to go. So much more to talk about. We hope you'll join us next week.